we're back with John Gray, and this is your new book, How to Get What You Want and Want What You Have. That's cool. But first I want to talk about how you got so smart before you started writing all these books and all the stuff you went through to make you get so smart.
Okay.
Okay, so you're over there now. You're being the assistant to the guru.
Yeah.
And you're looking for God, right?
Yeah, that's really what I wanted. I mean, it started out looking to get high. As a teenager, you're looking for high, and you're also thinking world peace and all that stuff. We're all thinking about it.
Right. Our whole generation
Yeah, it
was.
was the whole generation. I think ultimately we're still thinking that.
Right.
And that became a way, and I spent 9 years, and he didn't teach people to be celibate. He didn't teach people to become monks, but he was a celibate monk. And I said, I want to be like him. So I said, I want to be like you. And I just became a Hindu celibate monk, lived with him.
For 9 years you were celibate?
Celibate.
Oh
real
my God.
Celibate.
Okay, so what'd you learn from that?
A lot how to control your sexual energy. But what happens is people say, why be celibate? In the old days, and I don't recommend people to be celibate now, first of all, but what happens if you want a spiritual experience, one way to do it is take the energy which is down here and put it up in your head. So
you mean your sexual...
Sexual energy is down at this part of the body. If you restrain yourself from feeling any of the feelings down here, the energy goes up. So then you have more energy to meditate with, and you have more spiritual experience.
Right.
Now, I think that you can have just as much spiritual experiences without being celibate, and the truth is, if you want to be successful in the world, you have to be a part of the world.
Right.
Pulling away from the world will not make you more successful, but meditation...
But what did it do for you, John? You pulled away from the world for 9 years.
It gave me a lot of consciousness, a lot of objectivity. When I started, after 9 years of celibacy, and as a teenager, I loved sex. I think sex is fantastic, and I was busy. Then after 9 years, for about the first year, I made up for 9 years of celibacy.
You mean after?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
But, well, I guess we could talk about that now. I mean, because didn't you have some really sexy dream that ended your 9 years?
Well, it was a part of ending my 9 years of celibacy.
You just went, this is enough. I've had it 9 years.
Well, it was another thing, is that my younger brother was manic depressive. Since then, he's killed himself. He shot himself. But he was really, had a lot of problems. A wonderful person, but huge extremes, ups and downs. And I taught him meditation and thought that that would help him for years, and it didn't. So finally, I just said, I've got to find something else. And so I went out to California. I put him in a mental hospital, which was very painful. I couldn't help him. And I went out to study Western psychology, and that made a huge shift. The day before I went out to
Because before you'd been studying
Eastern approaches, which are good if you balance it for Westerners.
Right.
But, so anyway, the night before I left, I did have this erotic dream, and which I thought, this is interesting. Hadn't had one of these in a long time. And I went out to California, and I went to stay at this sort of ranch where there were several houses, and I was thinking about renting a room there, and there was you have a communal refrigerator, and this woman walked in. It was the woman in the dream. So I said, this is somehow meant to be, you know, something magical about this. So I went to her place and sat outside her door and just meditated, because one thing I was good at was meditation.
Yeah, and sitting outside people's doors.
Well,
things happen for you.
It's true.
Yeah, they do, huh? Things happen for you that way.
They do, you got it. So, anyway, so she said, okay, who are you? And I told her about my background, and she had a...
You said, I'm your new assistant.
Well, would like to be. Anyway, but she had a similar background, and she had left some sort of spiritual organization too, and she was a massage therapist, and so she said, you want a massage? And I said, sure. Then she says, well, take off your clothes.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Look at you. You're naked in about 2 seconds.
That was right. And naked and a woman touching me, two things that hadn't happened in 9 years. And there was
now, you're the perfect guy for me to ask this question, because how come I have, like, I'm 46, so I'm wondering if it's a premenopausal thing. But why am I not interested in sex? Or other people my age are emailing me that they're not either. What's up with this?
Well, I got a column, and half of the questions on my column, which is in a lot of the major newspapers, half of the questions, we get thousands of questions, half of them are all that same question. I'm over 40.
Let's ask people not.
Well, how many are over 40?
Over 40 women in the audience, and men, I guess.
Not many.
Not interested in sex, or having, you know.
Not as interested in sex, put it that way.
Yeah. I mean, because, otherwise they wouldn't be selling Viagra. These people are all lying.
Well, there's not many people to pick from here. And,
yeah,
and,
there's
there's very few over 40. The thing about it is that, and that's a whole shift from, I was a young man. When you're younger, you have stronger libido, you have stronger interest in sex, and it's something that fulfills your soul's need. After you've had a lot of sex,
maybe
there's other things which are important.
It just seems like a bore now.
Right. It's like, think about another thing. When I was in my 30s, the most important thing for me was to have children. I wanted children. I love children. I still love my children.
Maybe it's just that biological
But do you want more children?
No, I have 5. That's enough.
That's enough.
That's
You know, you start to feel this is enough. It doesn't mean you get rid of sex, but if you start looking at your sexual frequency as a problem, then you struggle with it. Instead of going, wait a second, I've shifted ages, I've got to find other needs, meet them, and then you come back to sex and it works great.
Well, what should I be doing? What should I do instead?
Well, as long as your husband doesn't think it's a problem. That's another issue. If one person wants it and the other person doesn't, then you have to learn to accommodate each other's needs and work it out.
Right.
But as long as both of you are happy and you're having less sex, who cares? Go on more vacations, do more, and particularly people in their 40s. And I talk about the different needs that we have. As you move over 40, not only do you need to fill up, sex is the way we feel good, making money is the way we feel good, going on vacations is the way we feel good, but after over 40, you have to find ways to make other people feel good.
That is exactly it. If
you want to help others.
You want to be able to give past just like your, you know, lower part.
That's right. You want to get beyond that, and you want to contribute in a way that doesn't even feed you at all. The joy of just giving to someone without expecting anything in return over 40 is fantastic.
Now, is this a whole baby boomer thing, or is it just me and you and a few of us?
It's a baby boomer thing.
I think it's like, it seems to be, so many of us are like, oh my God, I have to contribute to the world, duh, after I almost burn my brains out with all the drugs and the other stuff I've done. And if I have a liver left at all, you go, oh my God, I need to contribute to the world.
So you find a way to do it, and it's a way that you don't make money. It's important to have the ways of making money. You keep that. You don't give up all that. You keep that. You have all the other needs.
It doesn't matter as much.
It doesn't matter. Of course it doesn't matter as much. Then you give to someone without expecting anything in return, maybe a day a week or something like that.
Is some new spiritual organ being born in us?
Yes, it's being awakened inside. When you can learn, see, so many people spiritually have been taught to give unconditionally without expectation of return. If this cup is empty and I got this much and I give that to you, it's not spiritual. It means I need something back from you.
Right.
When your cup is full, then let it overflow. That's a spiritual experience. But you can't have that experience until your cup is full. So the first step always is to love yourself.
Can you explain that a little bit better? Because I don't get the cup thing.
Thanks. The cup thing, let your cup overflow. Let's
What does that mean?
Let's put giving in terms of money. Let's say I've got $5.
Yeah.
And I give my $5.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not that thrilled because I need to find money to eat.
Okay.
But let's say I have $1 million, or $10 million, or $1 billion. Then when I give money to people, I don't feel like it's taking anything away from me. I have plenty. So our soul has certain needs to have a sense of who I am. As you're full and you know who you are, you're full of love in your life. You have support, you have friends, you have family, or whatever. You have support. When you have that support, you're feeling like a big, rich tree with lots of fruit. Then you want people to pick from it. You just extend and you don't charge at that point.
Because you're not so obsessed with getting.
That's right. You don't need anything from these people anymore. It's just it's like an expanded version of having children. With your children, you love to give to your children. You don't have to get something back from your children. You love their happiness is your happiness. Then it expands to the society's happiness is your happiness. But it's false spirituality to think you can achieve that until you are complete in yourself. That's why we have to always follow the principle. Love yourself first. Get what you need first. Do what you want to do in your life. Then think about other people. And then people say, that sounds so selfish. But if you do take care of your own needs, you'll be overflowing and you'll want to give to other people.
Well, a lot of people have a lot of stuff and they don't give anything. What about that?
They're spiritually, unfortunately, impoverished. They're not happy. This is what this book's about, is learn how to want what you have. When you get to the place where you're happy with what you have, then your life can multiply.
Okay, got to go to commercial. We're going to talk more about this stuff when we come back. We're back with John Gray, and in your book you talk about, like, sometimes when you get really successful, like a lot of celebrities, suddenly you're totally unhappy.
Right. And do you know celebrities that's happened to?
Oh, yeah, me.
And you know others? It's really common, isn't it?
Yeah, very
So
common.
people have to understand, people think, if I made that much money, I'd be happy. And they don't realize, first of all, first step is to be happy is an ability. Like I can pick up this glass as an ability. And to be happy, I have the ability to be happy, which means I could have very little or a whole lot, and I have the ability to be happy with what I have. If you haven't learned how to be happy, then having more magnifies your unhappiness.
That is so true. It's so true.
It is so true. And people just don't, they keep thinking that money is going to make me happy. And unfortunately, It makes you more unhappy until you learn how to be happy with what you have. Then, if you're ambitious and you want more in your life, you have the power to create more if you're feeling happy with what you have.
Well, let's talk about discharging negative energy.
Yeah, now that's a big part, because you see a lot with, as a counselor, I saw lots of famous entertainers, people who really put themselves out there, and then as a result, they have depression, they have anxiety, they start feeling resentment, they have guilt, all kinds of negative stuff happens.
How
You go,
come?
why? Well, then I started understanding that in my own experience as well, everybody's had this regular experience when you're with somebody who's negative, and maybe you help them a little bit and they feel better. How do you feel when you walk away?
You feel terrible.
You feel terrible. Now, sometimes you feel better, you help them, but you kind of feel like that person's stuck to me.
Sometimes you feel like they're a vampire and they're sucking all your energy.
Yes, yes. Now,
and the more you give, the more they want.
That's right. Now, what you're describing, your experience, is part of what makes you successful and any person successful is there's a certain creativity, there's a certain sensitivity. What comes with creativity is sensitivity. So some people listening don't have any idea what we're talking about. People are more sensitive, which is most women and some men. When you interact with someone, if they're feeling negative, you end up feeling a little more negative, and they end up feeling better. So there's an exchange. Now take this.
Exchange.
Every time you put yourself out and make an audience come up in energy, and everybody loves Roseanne, well, now they're feeling better. They're feeling better. Some negative energy lifted off of them, and where does it go?
It goes in me.
It goes to Roseanne.
And
so when your ratings are #1, the whole world is coming at you. All this energy is coming to you, and then you have to learn to get rid of it. So for many stars, what happens to them when they're at the top? All that energy comes in, their life falls apart.
I imploded. This is talking about my other show. But I mean, I was at the top and just totally
it's too much.
imploded.
Emotionally, it just brings up, you go, where all these feelings come from? Why am I behaving this way? I'm irritable, or I'm angry, or I'm depressed, or I'm anxious. Where does it come from? Out of control, out of control. Now, this is the extreme. Everybody experiences this exchange, particularly women. They absorb it all the time, and they wonder, why are they overwhelmed? Why are they overworked? Why are they putting on all this weight? Why can't they control themselves?
Especially weight.
Because women absorb stress, and creative people absorb stress. And what it means is when you give...
Why is that? Because we have a more receptive energy?
It's sensitivity. It's being able to feel someone, to bring them in. You're connected to your feelings. So when you feel someone, like say somebody's in pain, a sensitive person goes, oh, I feel your pain. A non-sensitive person says, what's your problem? Let's go. Okay? They don't get it.
That's what my husband says. I mean, I thought it was a man thing.
It is pretty much. We men are less sensitive due to hormones.
Like my husband will go, hey, I understand you're having a bummer of a day in your room alone. Why don't you go outside? And then when I do go outside, it does help.
Yes.
But I have the overwhelming urge to stay in my room and like feel really bad.
And he's right, you need to come out, and part of coming out. But what a person needs when they're pulling in is someone who can be there, who'll hear what's bothering them.
Yeah.
And the problem is when you're real successful,
what if you don't know?
No, you don't know, because what's bothering you is not even your stuff. So if you say, I'm feeling anxious, they say, what do you have to be anxious about? You're great at what you do. You go, nobody understands, but I'm feeling it.
So like I vampired these feelings off of other people, and I'm just keeping them inside, and that's why I can't lose weight?
Yes, absolutely.
Well,
weight is a
what the
protection.
hell am I supposed to do now?
That's why you read my book. You read my book. The book teaches women and men how to be more creative, how to be more sensitive, and when you take energy in, how to then send negative energy out.
Okay, we have to talk about how to send negative energy out.
Happy
but
to.
I want to ask you this.
Now, you got to like get rid of it. You got to get it off of you, send it out.
How?
You want to talk about it now?
Yeah.
Right
do
here,
I have to do a commercial, or should I talk about it now? Yeah, talk about it.
Like I just went on a vacation to Hawaii.
Yeah.
I feel totally refreshed. I sat in the sun. Why do rich people go to Hawaii? Why do they stand in the sun? The ones that get there, you get near sun, you get near water, you get near trees, you ride horses, you do natural things. You know, hospitals know if you bring in dogs, people get better. They immediately get better.
What is it, like being in nature in the real world?
Nature absorbs the grounding energy. It takes negative energy out, but you have to take time to do it.
Because I have a ranch, you know, I go up there to Arrowhead, and I just like walk around, I look at trees, I smell stuff, I look at stuff, I touch dirt.
Yes.
And it does, it recharges you.
Absolutely. And you look at even the religious institutions are having so many problems with their monks and their spiritual people. Why? Because they're spiritual people, they pray and they meditate, their energy's high, so they absorb negative energy, they make people feel better, but they don't grow their own food. See, it used to be the monks used to grow their own food.
Okay, so we all need to garden more.
We need to garden more, we need to spend more time in nature, we need to walk, we need to breathe fresh air. All those things are essential. You take children who are living in a ghetto where it's all concrete, they're just absorbing negative energy. How do you get rid of that stuff? Historically, we've always been a part of nature. Now we've taken it away, and so we have no way to send that energy back. And what I teach people
now I have to go to commercial. Okay, we'll talk more when we come back. And then we're going to play our version of your popular board game, Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. Don't go anywhere. We're back with John Gray, and I just got really fascinated about talking about decharging the energy that we store. Tell us more.
Well, you know, like, here's an example everybody
Yeah.
can relate to. If you're upset and you just talk to somebody, particularly women, if you just simply talk about what's bothering you to somebody who cares, whose heart is open, you feel better.
Yeah, you do.
You don't have to solve the problem. You just feel better. That's if the person is open and receptive. That person actually takes away the negative energy. And that's what a counselor does.
So, John,
are
you just walking around looking for somebody to, like, put your negative energy into?
No, it's not that you actually, I'm looking for people to draw negative energy out of. See, that's what a healer does. That's what a counselor does, is that people come with problems, and if you're grounded in your life and you've emptied out the negative stress in your life, then they're just talking to you. They feel better.
And then how do you keep yourself from taking it in?
That's the secret that you need to know, and anybody who's successful has to know this, is that if you're pulling it in, anybody who's happy by you, that energy starts coming in, the negative energy that gets released, you have to take time to send energy out. Now, in the book, I teach a real practical technique, which doesn't take a lot of time, but you could go on a trip to vacation. A vacation will do it.
Yeah.
Be in the natural elements, always does it. Fire, water, earth, and plants and flowers have the most. That's why women love flowers. I just carry flowers to the airport. Women just smile and they glow. What is it about flowers? Flowers absorb.
Is that why guys give you flowers when they want?
Somebody learned that if you want her to forgive you, give her flowers, and the negative energy goes into the flowers.
Oh my God, it's all a scam. Isn't that great? Oh, I love that.
But it's also at funerals why you have flowers there.
Why?
It makes all this negative energy is there, so it's got to go away. Nature will absorb negative energy, and it just makes sense.
And it helps nature. It doesn't do harm to nature,
unless you do too much. See, and flowers can only take so much. That's why some people don't have a green thumb.
Like me.
Like you, like me. Before I started learning to send negative energy out, plants could not grow around me.
Right.
Put plants in the room with me, they die. Even with my seminars, after several hours, the plants which are closest to me start to wilt if we don't move them. Now, why is that? Because the negative energy comes and the plants are pulling it out. Some people are successful. To be successful and have charisma, you have to have magnetic pull. People are drawn to you.
People like you because you're taking their negative energy away.
That's right.
Oh my God.
Because you're like a big sponge.
And then
your life goes like this. It goes crazy.
Oh my God,
that is so right. That's it, yeah.
Now how do I fix it so I can sleep?
Learning to decharge. That's the first thing, is learning to send the energy out. So in the book, I teach people a little prayer you do. The prayer is like this. It's, oh God, my heart is open to you. Please come sit in my heart. And you say that over and over with your hands up for about a couple minutes with your hands. What happens is blood will drop down in the blood naturally goes down by gravity.
Right.
Whenever blood flows in the body, healing energy comes. So you'll start to feel.
You mean whenever blood goes out, healing energy comes in?
That's why it used to be bloodletting was the way people healed everything until they had antibiotics. Is a healing energy comes, and if you then direct the healing energy with your mind, you can heal someone. Here, your hands are up. The blood starts to flow. Energy. Anybody does it, you'll start to feel tingling energy here.
I do. I feel it in my fingertips.
That's the healing energy. If you're meditating, then on a simple prayer, I have one in my book, a whole variety of them. Whatever religion you are, I've got one for you.
Let's do that one about God come in my heart.
Oh God, my heart is open to you.
My heart is open to you.
Please come sit in my heart. Oh God, my heart is open to you. Please come sit in my heart. Now, once you do that for 5 or 10 minutes, then you say to God, oh God, my heart is open to you. Please come sit in my heart. Take away this stress and negative energy. Just put your fingers now towards the flowers.
Go like this?
Yeah. Take away this stress and negative energy. Take away this stress
and negative energy.
Take away this stress and negative energy. And then you repeat the phrase again. Oh God, my heart is open to you. Please come sit in my heart. Take away this stress and negative energy. Take away this stress and negative energy. You starting to feel the energy flowing out your fingertips?
I think so.
Something happening. I mean, we're on TV here in only a couple of minutes. It takes time. You have to learn to meditate, which you already know how to do. But this is just as people know to bring energy in, you
I'm surprised
these
flowers aren't like exploding into flame.
It takes time. It takes time. But in a sense, what you just do is just learn to send energy out. Now, anybody who's successful knows that if you have positive energy, you have positivity comes to you. Right. Negative energy attracts negative things.
And now, women don't know this at all, do
they? They don't know how to release the energy.
Because you get it, you have your kids. What about with your kids?
Go back even 50 years and before washing machines. What did women do in most cultures? Go to the Philippines, you'll see it now. Women spend 6 hours down at the river pounding clothes, doing laundry.
So they're
They're
discharging,
talking
yeah.
and they're discharging.
So
People
once
used
again,
to grow their own
the
food.
women who live more primitively,
They're much
than us
happier.
are much happier.
They're
Once
happier
again.
people. Go any. I've
They
been
don't
around
need
the world 8
Prozac
times.
and
They don't
all
need
that
any of
stuff.
these drugs, any of this stuff. Now we have advantages of being in our head. They have advantages of being very grounded.
So what are we going to do? What are us normal, everyday American women going to do?
We need to take time every day to do this decharging. Like you take a bath, you can decharge 15 minutes into a bath, put some salt in it, will make it better, like salt water, very natural. You learn to decharging, you burn some candles around you, it's decharging. That's why the most romantic thing is bath, bubble bath, candlelight,
flowers.
all the romantic things. What is romance but activities
Well,
that
how
help
does
you to let
chocolate
go of
figure
stress?
in there, John?
Also good.
Why is
Also
chocolate?
good.
Chocolate's good. Why?
Anything that makes you feel good is good.
Oh.
It makes you feel good. Now, too much will put on too much weight. Now, we'll talk about weight. Why do some women lose weight and put it all back on? Why can't they keep it off? I mean, you have to do weight programs to lose weight.
Is it about being stuck?
It's about your weight protects you from negative energy. It keeps you from being sick.
Oh my God, that makes sense.
It does make sense. So as soon
Does that
as
make sense to you?
it protects, and now women who've lost a lot of weight, no, they start feeling more vulnerable, they're more sensitive,
Yeah,
and so
really
you put on the
scary.
weight, and then you're kind of like a tank running through life, you know? You can kind of run into things, it doesn't bother you as much. It's your body's protective mechanism to keep you from getting sick, because sickness comes from absorbing negative energy. Let's look at cancer people. The profile on many cancer people is...
What? Wait a minute. Do I have to go to commercial? I have to go to commercial.
Oh, let's do it.
Oh, heck,
Okay.
and then we'll talk more when we come back. Wow, well, you're a great guest. We'll be right back. But not really. Well, we're back with John Gray. And so you were telling us that sickness is, I mean, that being fat is
Being
what?
fat
A way to resist?
is a way to resist negative energy, because if that negative energy comes in, you get sick. So it's a way to protect your body. Your soul is saying, we got to keep putting on this weight to protect us from the stress around us. And this is not, see, people who don't have weight issues just don't understand this. They're not sensitive people. There are thick-skinned people and there's sensitive people. The sensitive people, thick-skinned person says, what's your problem? Why can't you just not eat that? The sensitive person gets it off, they got to put it back on, because that serves a purpose. It protects them, and they can begin to let go and keep it off if they learn another way of protecting them, which is learning to actually take that negative energy that's affecting them and sending it out of their body. All sickness comes from absorbing negative energy.
Sickness comes from absorbing
unless it was a poison you took.
What
or
about
something like that.
cancer?
One cancer survey showed they were trying to find a psychological profile for people who have cancer. And the only thing they could find at this one study was that in a hospital, the women, or the people, it was mainly women, the people who complained the most about the food and the service were the ones that went into remission. And the ones who were so nice are the ones that didn't.
Why? Because they held the energy in and it was just eating them alive?
They're just
What?
absorbing positive people. When you're always trying to, see, here's someone serving you bad food, and what are you doing? Oh, it's all right, it's nice. You're making them happy. People who are people pleasers go around making everybody happy. They make people happy, and they absorb negative energy. So the people, finally some of those women said, I don't care. I'm dying, I want good service. And so what happened is they started thinking about them instead of other people. And so they stopped absorbing so much. So one of the skills, particularly for women, which is to not absorb so much, is to start doing what you want to do and not what other people think is the right thing to do, but what you want to do.
How can you practically do that? Let's talk about being a mom and a wife and all that stuff.
That's right, it's very hard.
How can you practically, how can you do it?
It's very hard. And one of the things that helps tremendously is to carve out a little time to do this meditation where you're holding flowers, you're in the bathtub, or you're sending the energy out, and you just make it a priority in your life for survival. You know, once I started learning this, I make sure my wife gets time to do this, where she gets time in the garden, time in nature. She's a gardener. She's got 5 gardens and flower gardens. She's really gotten into the whole thing. And I'm a happy man because my wife is happy. And just like women are always talking, they need communication, what they really need is someone to hear their pain, in a sense, their frustrations, their disappointments, and absorb it. Why do men want sex so much? Why? Because when a woman is open to a man in sex, she just absorbs all his negative energy. A man, this is the difference.
Is that why maybe you don't?
Well,
so what does that mean? That maybe that's why I don't like sex, and my husband's too stressed out?
Sometimes. There are many reasons for it, but this is a common thing that happens. A difference between men and women. Generally, women need romance to enjoy sex, okay? Men don't. Men can be stressed out after a day and come home and enjoy sex and go to sleep and be happy guys. What just happened? All his negative stress of the day is gone. And then she wonders why, after a while, she's not really excited about having sex with him anymore. It's because she's not taking time to throw that negative energy out of her. And so she can't keep letting that energy come into him.
Well, my storing negative energy, I mean, I have 4 big kids, a little kid. I got this show with 1 million people, and
This show
blah, blah,
adds
blah.
to it, makes it super normal. Super normal amount of stress that comes into your life. That's why you see the tabloids are filled with crazy stuff with rich people, successful people, is because they draw in way more than the average.
What about kids, though? How do we help our kids with it?
This is why you see the children of famous people often have certain problems, because the children will also absorb what the parents aren't dealing with.
So children are absorbers of the mother's negative?
Yes, they will absorb the mother and the father's. And now let me give you a practical example. This sounds very far out because we can't measure these energies yet. However, mothers know on days when you're just like, you're trying to hold it together, why is it on those days your children act out? See, they just go ballistic at those times. You go, why are they giving me trouble when I need it the least?
Oh, my God,
because
how true is that?
What you suppress, what you can't deal with in yourself, your children who are like little sponges, they absorb it. So they just take it right in. And generally, it's one child that does it.
It
Not
is
all.
one child.
It's generally the black sheep of the family. One child will do it. But we all take it on to a certain extent.
But they all take it in different ways.
They take it in different ways.
One takes it overtly, and the other ones take it in other
And it doesn't
ways.
mean that you're responsible for their problems. They have their own issues, but you can complicate it.
But wait a minute, you're saying that, okay, say, like I take it off the husband, and then I give it to the kids.
Yes.
So it's up to the mother to change it, right?
Well, it's up to the father, too. Men need to take away the stress and negative energy as well. When a man does those, see, when a man is in a sense, forced to slow down, to do the things that say, I care, to buy the flowers, to arrange the vacation, forces him to slow down, and doing those things helps to decharge him more, but also makes her...
Oh, that's good. So the more men give, the more decharged they're going to be.
That's right. So there's a balance there.
And the less women give,
the more decharged they'll be.
The more decharged they're going to be.
Women give
and
too
what about
much.
the kids now? Help me figure the kids.
The kids, you have 2 choices with kids. Kids are sponges. They need love, and love will wash away the stress of their life. If the parents are so stressed, then the children and all their love will just absorb the stress. That's why so many parents feel better when they're with their children, but then why do they feel better? Because the little children absorbed it.
How do we help our kids?
By managing, doing our best to manage the stress in our lives. That means taking time for yourself.
But what about when your kid, like your little 3-year-old, my little 3-year-old, he's stressed because, you know, there's a lot going on for 3-year-olds.
They have their own issues. And the issue is, you know, if you're helping them or complicating them, is if you're hearing all their stress and it like makes you all stressed out, then that's a sign you've got too much stress in your life and you can't be there for your child as effectively as if the child's crying and you can hold it. You know, a child crying in an airplane, for example, everybody goes nuts. They can't deal with that.
Nuts.
See,
yeah,
and so that child, unfortunately, is now absorbing everybody's negative energy at that time, and that acts it out more. So if a parent is managing their stress, the children are going to have acting out.
Well, how will we help the kid when it's like at a peak stress level? How do we help our kid
Well, one of the most important things is time out. Okay?
Yeah, I do that.
Okay, because not only does time out help the child work through their issue, but it separates you from the child so you can calm down.
Right.
See, it gets the parent away from the child, because if you're resisting your child, you're just going to make it worse. So you need to have the time out for both of you to get apart.
The kid does real well by himself without us getting in there.
We'll do better, right. I mean, if you could just be there without any resistance to the child, that would be the best thing, but most parents can't.
All right, we'll be right back with more. Stay tuned. Well, we're back with John Gray, and we're going to wrap it up in this segment here. We want to get like a lot of information out, and we already have got a lot of information.
Right.
But this, your new book's about success, achieving personal success, and I want to know, what does that have to do with decharging?
Well, decharging is a big part of it that nobody knows that goes with success. Is how to get what you want is one thing, and how to want what you have. If you don't take away the negative energy in your life on a regular basis, you won't want what you have. It will never be enough. It will never be enough. It will never be enough. And if you're carrying around negative energy to a certain point, you'll attract negativity to you even more. Because who wants to be around somebody who's being negative? People stop being interested in you. That's why charisma starts to go away in people who have it, because they're just storing too much negative energy.
This is the thing I find when I'm reading my emails, you know. I'm obsessed with reading my emails now and liking computers, and it's all really weird for me. But a lot of people, I guess I can kind of feel when there's nothing coming back.
I don't understand the question.
A lot of people are stuck in really, really, really negative realities, and you can kind of measure it because all they do is talk about what a negative reality
That's
they're
right.
stuck in.
See, this is another paradox here. To be successful, you have to be in touch with how you feel, which means sometimes positive, sometimes negative. Unsuccessful people stay stuck in negativity. Unsuccessful people, another group, stay stuck in positivity. They're always saying everything's fine, and nothing's happening in their life. You have to find the balance of being true to your feelings, which the upset feelings come, but then to be able to release them. So what I talk about in the book is 12 blocks that people get, like resentment or guilt or anxiety, fears, and how to feel those feelings and not numb yourself to it, but release it. And most people don't know how to release it. And the meditation and the decharging
because we don't know how to release.
That's right,
we need to release so we can move on,
That's right. That's it. And if we move on, then every person has dreams in their heart. They're like little seeds, and they will sprout and they will grow if we get the love and support we need. But negative energy blocks us from receiving it. We become jaded by life, or we don't open ourselves to it. We become numb.
What if you don't have any support from anybody?
The whole thing in there, you have to start creating support in your life. Love is the most important ingredient. And you start with loving yourself by doing good things for yourself, doing things that you enjoy. If you want to buy shoes, go buy shoes. If you want to, frivolous, do what makes you happy is very important for adults to do. And stop living your life by what other people think is right or wrong and follow your heart.
I was thinking we had a show on Passover about leaving slavery. And the very addiction to what other people think, I think, is like the worst slavery there is.
You're right. You're right. It is the worst slavery. And freedom comes from finding our true will and wish inside of our hearts. And you know what's really beautiful for spiritual people is when you're in touch with your true will and wish and your heart is open, that is how you hear God's will. People say, how do I know what God wants for me? Open your heart, feel love and joy, then ask yourself, what do I want? And that's what God wants through you.
Right.
And then the other thing here is...
You've been a great guest. I was just going to point out your game.
Well, everybody knows the game.
This helps us decharge, too,
It
this
does.
game, right?
What this game does, it gets people asking questions and talking. Particularly women, one of the most powerful ways of decharging is to talk in a positive environment where somebody's hearing what you have to say. And then you feel heard, you feel seen, and the negative energy just starts coming out in a positive way. And just have lots of flowers around while you're playing the game, and they'll absorb it. So get people talking. And what you do in the game is men try to guess what the women's answers are going to be. And how often are men like competing to guess what their wife thinks and feels, or their girlfriend's thinking and feeling? It's a way for...
How often are they competing to not know?
That's right. That's the whole thing. So this is like a way for people to have fun, but get to know each other better.
Men better start listening to us, and I mean it.
Now.
Does it really exist, being happy all the time?
The reality is that life is not one static feeling. Life is a roller coaster. Some people it's higher, some people it's lower, but it's happiness, sadness. It's concern, fear, confidence. We're always moving.
Can you be happy throughout,
yes, and you can be happy throughout the whole thing. It's like, you know, put it in material terms, you know, you can have low cash flow this week, but you've got $10 million in the bank. But you can't access it.
Like the stock market, you leave it in.
It's moving up and down, and feelings need to move up and down. But what brings real fulfillment in life is when you're anchored in a trust that you can get what you need in this world, and you always will.
Who do you have that trust with? God?
You find that through your connection with God. People who don't have that connection with God generally have so much stress in their lives. They struggle. When I have to write a new book, I say, how am I going to do that? Okay, God, I need your help. Oh, God, my heart is open to you. Come sit in my heart. Write this book. Write this book. Help me write this book. Everything I do is with help.
It does make the world a way better place when you realize that you really have nothing to do with it. Doesn't it?
It does. And so many people know that at times of real stress, they'll call upon God. They think it has to be some kind of terrible situation. And miracles happen in people's lives every day, but they wait until things are really bad.
Yeah.
Every day,
and then they
I start
wonder
the day
how
with
come
it.
God doesn't just fix it.
Yeah.
That was like a long way to getting there.
You know, the real secret of relationship with God is do your best and God will do the rest. But you've got to take the risk to put yourself out there. And it's hard to do that if you feel that you're just going to be out there and be left on your own.
Right.
So it takes time to build the confidence that whatever you do, you will get the support you need. And you have to start creating that support. You can't wait around for it to happen.
Yeah, like you can't go smoking for 40 years and then get lung cancer and go, God, why didn't you cure me?
Right, right.
Right?
But you can pray to God and have less pain. God doesn't
Every
want
day
yeah.
you can do that.
Yeah.
You are such a... I had so much fun. Thank you.
Thank you. It was a real pleasure.
I want to thank John Gray for being here, and for our audience, this is so cool. We have for each of you a special gift, a copy of his board game, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. And thank you, Mattel. Thank you, everybody at home. See you tomorrow.